Welcome back to another episode of YouTube with the boys. This is another Singular Boy episode. I promise I'll get them on soon. I really promise. Okay, so basically, let's get into it. This week, in the past few days actually, really recently, YouTube messed up big time. They have made a couple of mistakes. They fixed it in the end eventually, but they were sitting in hot water, not looking too good. They were on a path downwards. Yeah, things weren't going well for them. They really messed up. So, I'll go through the timeline here. So, a lot of this drama surrounds Moist Critical. So, Moist Critical is he's been on YouTube for a very long time. His channel is called Penguin Zero right now, and he has over 5 million subscribers. He's very close to 6 million, and basically, here's what it comes down to. He posted a video about. It was this road rage dash cam skit. So, in this skit, I've watched it myself. It's in Russia, based in Russia, and this van, this guy pulls over this van, and he's like, he knocks on it, threatening the people to get out, and 4 people come out, and they're all dressed up as mascots. They're Mickey Mouse, the squirrel from Ice Age, who else? A purple, weird elephant thing that's probably a mascot from somewhere, maybe in Russia, and SpongeBob. And they, quote, beat up, unquote, this man who has knocked on their van to tell them to get out because he's road raging. And they, beat him up, which it's obviously when you watch it, many people have said this throughout this series of drama, but it's obviously fake. It's obviously a skit. You can tell that they're not really hurting this man. You can tell the fight's not real. It's really obvious when looking at it. It's one of those things when you look at it, you start laughing, but not in an awkward, I don't know how to react type of way, and oh, this is obviously a parody of some kind. It's okay to laugh type of way. And what happened is, YouTube gave Moist Critical a channel strike for this. And a channel strike is pretty serious stuff when it comes to being a YouTuber. Because if you're a YouTuber, obviously YouTube is your income. And a channel strike can lead to a lot of your privileges being taken away. Eventually, if you get 3, your channel gets banned. So it's very scary when you get a channel strike. And you can appeal it in different things. So that's what happened. Moist Critical, he decided to try to appeal it, and YouTube said, no, this video of this road rage incident, it's violent and graphic, and you're trying to put that up on YouTube, so we have to give you this channel strike. And apparently, he has contacts with a lot of other people in the other YouTube departments. He said this in a video called I'm Mad, which is a few days ago. If you want to see it, you can go to Penguin Zero. And he talks about how he tried to contact... He talked to these department heads, and he's like, hey, can you please reach out to this manual review system, which is when a YouTube employee goes back and looks at their video and decides, if this video should stay up or not, if the automatic system flags it. And they're like, okay, we'll try our best. But there's no really direct line of communication between the different departments. So, the manual review department is crazy. No one can really reach them except through email, and their emails are not really personable at all. They send back what looks like an automated responses, and they're not really responding. So Moist Critical doesn't know what to do, because this is also why he's so mad, is because he's made a video a week ago or a few days ago talking about there's a bunch of animal abuse community on YouTube, which is horrible, and it's not getting removed. There are still channels that in the past have posted videos of them abusing animals and sometimes, sadly, killing animals. And there's a few of these channels, and they're not being removed. And he kind of brought this back to, Leafy's ban, which I talked about last week. If you haven't listened to that, you can go listen now. And as I did mention, there are some worse channels that didn't get banned, and this horrible animal abuse community is one of them. So obviously he's pissed at this point, because he just brought up a case of this horrible illegal stuff that's not being banned on YouTube, and meanwhile his obvious parody video that he put up gets banned and channel striked. So he's tried to communicate through his other YouTube contacts. No one can really get to the manual review department and try to fix the problem, so he goes for a last-ditch Twitter effort. He just kind of posts out on Twitter and says, hey, this video was removed and channel striked for being graphic and violent. Everybody knows it's not. He said, at Team YouTube, can you do anything? And at Team YouTube usually responds on Twitter to prominent YouTubers because it's public, and all the fans can rally behind them. So Team YouTube responds, yeah, pretty much, we stand by our decision, this is violent and graphic, so, we're not changing anything. And people start to get angry. He starts to create a Twitter hashtag that's trending, and, things start to escalate. And YouTube is sticking with their guns. If you have seen this video, he says this multiple times, but I gotta reiterate it because when I watched it myself, it's very obvious. It is not graphic or violent. It is a parody. Anybody can pretty much see it's a parody. You have to be very trigger happy on being offended to think that this is real. It is obviously not. So they stick by their guns and people start freaking out. And then Moist Critical, he tries to, he's pissed. So he's like, I'm going to fix this. I am not letting go. So he goes, he posts a screenshot of the same clip in a Markiplier Try Not to Laugh video. And for those who don't know, Markiplier, really family-friendly channel and one of the biggest channels on YouTube. So he goes, see, this is in that Markiplier's video that was from like 4 years ago, and this is still up. Like, why is mine striked? So the Markiplier sees this, and, being a good guy, he's like, yeah. He says, he retweets it, and he says, fair is fair. YouTube, where is my strike? Almost less as if he's actually asking to be striked too, but more as if just trying to say, bring up that YouTube is being very inaccurate and kind of all over the place with their rules and when they're enforcing them and when they're not. So he's kind of giving it like, oh, you're being really bad about your enforcement. Like, you're really being really spotty with it. Like, where is my strike? Now, this seems very rhetorical, but then YouTube, they decide all of a sudden make an idiotic choice when YouTube's like, no. They probably got too involved in the argument. Probably one guy, and he's like, no, I want to stick by my guns. So then he, an hour later, actually channel strikes Markiplier as well. And Markiplier, this video has been up for 4 years. And no one probably would have known if he hadn't said, if he didn't bring it up as well. No one would have said anything. But he says fair and fair, and YouTube's like, no, we're not letting this, we're sticking by our guns. Like, we are going to do this. And then they channel strike him. And you're just like, what? Like, everybody, the whole community of YouTube is coming to rally to this moment. Is saying, oh, yeah, this video, this clip is fine. And then you channel strike Markiplier. It's just the dumbest shit of all time. And everybody, Markiplier was critical. Markiplier later makes a video on it, and he's like, why are you doing it this way? Before I continue on Markiplier's video, he made a video on it recently, which is, I think it's just called My Channel Got Striked, and it's really good. And he basically goes on and talks about, why this is a bad way to do it. I mean, it's fine if YouTube decides that clip is wrong, which is obviously not, then privately maybe contact the creator. And Markiplier reveals that there is a software built into YouTube where you can delete a segment of a YouTube video without actually taking it down. So they can literally ask the creator to go in and take the segment away. And maybe just have a little more conversation. Maybe like Moist Critical says, no, this clip is fine, but then YouTube says, take it down. And then if he says no again, then you channel strike him. But channel striking just immediately like that, and just taking the whole video down instead of using your own software to delete that segment, it just seems very unreasonable. And these creators drive so much income for you, and you're just treating them like this badly, like not even giving them any chances. It just seems so stupid. So, like, maybe just try to reason with them more. Like, you have people on both sides of this argument. Like, if you ask them nicely and try to explain to them what you're going through, then they might be more available, it's not the right word, but to take down the clip. But they did not do that. They doubled down. And it just seems so dumb. I mean, someone there, they lost track of what they were doing. That they are the representative of a company, maybe. Someone really just messed up. To put it in light terms, I could probably say it much worse. So then, Moist Critical, he responds with, like, he's shocked that YouTube striked Markiplier, and he says, I can't believe that they're actually going to die on their hill, striking Markiplier, and, like, for fake violence. Like, that's how far they're going to go. And eventually, someone at YouTube found out this was happening, probably, and he was like, oh shit, like, how did you let this happen to his team? You just strike two very prominent voices in the YouTube community who fans adore. Like, why are you doing this? And then someone probably actually watched the clip, like a regular person who works there. It was like, oh wait, there is nothing wrong with this. So then YouTube actually did a kind of good job of owning up to it. They tweeted back basically saying that they're not going to die on the hill, and that Moist Critical and Markiplier were right, and that they removed the strikes, put the videos back up. And yeah, it took all of that to get to the point for YouTube just to come to common sense. To common sense. And you just got to think about it, like, these two influential people had to go publicly on Twitter with their issue, make multiple videos about it, about how YouTube was wrong, just to get them to fix a simple mistake that if you took one watch of the video and really watched it, things could have been fixed. And Markiplier, he points out that this problem mostly is communication in YouTube, because it's hard because these YouTubers do have people who are like their direct communication. They're like their partner, their channel partner, who can like advocate to the company for them. But the communication lines are so bad in there. Even when you're talking to the heads of other departments, no one can get to this manual review department. It's so isolated. They're all isolated from each other, so things don't work. And it just shows that, like, I did think Leafy deserves to be banned, but going back to the anal abuse, I mean, like, you're banning things. There are much worse things out there that are not being banned. There are much worse things out there that, like, you're not taking a stand on, and you're trying to make a statement with these bigger channels, and that's just dumb. You need to actually take away the stuff that's illegal and actually wrong. And YouTube's got to pivot. I mean, Markiplier and Moist Critical both mentioned that there are definitely good people in the company, which that is undoubtedly true. There are definitely some people in YouTube who you can tell probably care. But there is just sometimes things don't add up, don't work together. The gears don't turn. People are isolated, there's no communication, and you make stupid decisions like this. And then not realize it the first time, but double down and channel strike Markiplier. I think I'm going to keep repeating myself if I keep talking about it. So that's basically all the news. But it's just that shows that sometimes, even though YouTube is a great platform, they make a lot of mistakes, and they put too much trust in these algorithms they make. And it's just dumb. But the creators and the people did win in the end, which is a good victory. And if you want to double check any of what I'm saying, you can find all the evidence on Twitter. Just go to Moist Critical's Twitter, or I think his real name's Charlie. That helps. Markiplier's Twitter, I think he retweeted a lot, and then Markiplier made a video, and then Moist Critical made multiple videos under the YouTube channel Penguins Zero, Penguins with a Z. And I think that I'm going to try to do less channel strikes because I find that gets a little boring. But I'm going to give a quick shout out right here. So recently I talked about in the first episode, if you haven't watched that, I talked about Michael Reeves and his great videos. He just posted another great video, actually sponsored by Amazon, which if you know, he's kind of a vulgar and wild creator. So it's crazy. He got a big company sponsor and he has a little fun with it. And he makes a really cool video about a laser robot baby. And I think that says enough about it. It's doing really well. I really respect him and his work ethic because I follow a lot of the offline TV people and like they've been saying he's been working like crazy and it's got 3 million views in under 24 hours. So yeah, that's insane. So go check that video out. That video is great. And let's see if I want to give another shout out of the week. I mean, I've already kind of shouted out Moist Critical already. I don't really watch him, but no, I think that's going to be it for this week. I just want to keep it more news focused because I think it gets boring a little when I drone on without other people. So we're going to keep it there. Thank you for listening to YouTube with the boys this week. I will see you next week, hopefully with the boys.